It's time to get serious about protecting the Okanagan from an ecological and economic threat. So says the Okanagan Basin Water Board, as it calls for less talk and more action from governments to protect our waterways from zebra mussels, an invasive species that would cause all sorts of problems if they got into our local lakes and streams. Blaine Gaffney reports.
They're not in any open waterways, but zebra mussels could possibly get here, and that would be trouble.
They're bad. There's no upside. Nothing eats them.
Zebra mussels can foul beaches and boats. They can clog water intakes, damage bridges and docks, hurt the ecosystem, cause havoc to fisheries.
But if we go with what they've done in other places, the fisheries have collapsed.
The Okanagan Basin Water Board says the cost of dealing with a mussel invasion in the Okanagan could be more than $40 million a year.
Well, that was a fairly quickly done study. It was based on the impacts that had been assessed for, I think it was Lake Tahoe.
Zebra mussels came from Europe on the hulls and in the ballast of cargo ships, first infecting the Great Lakes, spreading west across the continent.
The reason why they travel so rapidly is that they hitchhike on boats.
That's why the agency is trying to pressure senior governments for boat inspection stations at the U.S. and Alberta borders.
It may cost some money, $1 million a year or something, to protect all of BC, but if it's going to cost $40 million a year just in the Okanagan, then it seems like quite a bargain, because you're looking at how many different lakes do we have in BC and how many impacts on all these other communities.
Meanwhile, the Water Board continues spreading the message with its Don't Move a Mussel educational campaign.
Our role is to help keep the energy and momentum going and make sure that the public understands what's at risk.
Also continuing in Okanagan lakes, dropping artificial reefs into the water to see if any mussels attach themselves. If that does happen, it'll be too late, because once they're here, there's no getting rid of them.
The trick is to keep the zebra mussels out of here long enough so that they can find the cure for them somewhere else, and we won't have to deal with it.
Blaine Gaffney, Global News, Kelowna.